Why, hello there. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday night in our Agatha All Along episode 8. Catch this, guys. Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end. I knew it this time. You know why? Because I had the whole week off and I just
It's I also so as I was doing my deep dive that I've been doing for like the last I don't know what it is about the last 5 episodes that have caused me to like do the pause frame, like go back, rewatch episodes like I was with the end of The Wheel of Time, but I have been. The title of the episode, The Glory, is the last line from the song.
Oh, follow me, my friend, to glory at the end. Okay, yeah.
And it's the last episode that they're actually on the road. We don't see the road again for the rest of except for in flashbacks, but that's it.
Interesting. Look at us being prepared.
I know, right?
Yeah, a week off does me so much good.
I have so many notes.
I do too, but mine are all in sticky notes and like really bad handwriting that I can't always read later because I like scribble it down and then try to decipher my own writing later.
That is my problem. So I get so anxious if I have to write anything by hand because my handwriting is absolutely atrocious. And like the frequency in which I misspell things due to dyslexia, like while typing, is mirrored in my handwriting, but you can't delete.
No, you have to cross it out and then,
so it's just a mess of like H's in the wrong places and and like was trying to write and like having the D in the end switched and then trying to fix it. Yeah, it's
just like your brain on paper, Tom.
Yeah, or now. Though who does have amazing handwriting.
Bravo.
I know. And a lot of the people who are in our book club should know because a bunch of them got autographed books from this person earlier this month.
I'm jealous I didn't.
Well, I don't worry. I still have a couple left that I haven't given out that if we don't give away, I'll send to you and Ebony, and then you guys can have signed ones too. Or you could just bring them to meet Jen at maybe a future Jordan Con or something. So anyway, let's see what her future plans are and see if you can stalk her at a future Jordan Con or Multiverse Con or something and bring her in.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yay. Anytime, you're always welcome. Not only do we like love your big wrinkly brain just because, but you are also like incredibly knowledgeable specifically about like Marvel tonight, magic stuff, like not even because you're dragons too. Yeah, I did wear a dragon shirt. I am a failure though because this is my only dragon shirt that I own, and I feel like that's a failure on my part.
I'm wearing my Green Dragon in shirt.
Perfect. For so many reasons, that's a good one for tonight. The Green Witch is very popular tonight.
Yep.
Green Dragon in, that's Lord of the Rings, right? That's the come on down and drink at the Green Dragon or something like that, or have a flagon down at the Green Dragon. I don't remember.
You have to work on that one.
But yes, that is indeed Lord of the Rings. So
yay. But anyway, hi, Jenn Lyons, author, game master, game designer, artist, multitude of titles, and so much talent rolled into one person. It's a little annoying, to be honest with you. It's frustrating.
Apologies for that. And all that in good handwriting to boot.
I know. Oh my God. Do I have any here? No, I don't have a signed one up here. I think they're all downstairs. But if someone maybe in chat, I know Rapunzel has one, and I think Noman Garden got one too. If you want to post like a picture of the signature that Jen did in the books. And you used, what was the pen that you used? Because that wasn't just a regular pen.
No, it's a fountain pen. It's just, it's a cheap fountain pen, but it is a fountain pen. So that's it.
She had like, you have to have ink, and you had like, it wasn't just like, it wasn't like a, you didn't
actually
bust out a.
For Sky on Fire, I custom made the ink.
Oh, the
Okay.
color, right? You talked about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did custom make the ink for Sky on Fire because I
And
couldn't find a red that was just the right red.
And it comes close to matching the
cover.
The cover art, right. Let me grab I have a graphic for our inaugural book club, Sky on Fire by Jenn Lyons. But yeah, no, now that I'm looking at it, it really does match that background red.
Yeah, it needed to be like just the perfect fiery red, and I was being a little extra about it. I freely admit this. But yeah, no, I did have to mix the ink for that one. Whereas for the next book, Green and Deadly Things, I'm just like using diamine, just a diamine green ink.
It's a pretty green though.
Yeah.
The your signature though is gorgeous. Is it so now one of the things that for people watching, I feel like you probably have heard Brandon Sanderson say this. His signature is a little unique because it doesn't it's his signature. It's not necessarily his name, Brandon Sanderson, but it has elements of the letters of his name, and it's like a unique signature. He developed it because he got advice from an author. I want to say it was Stephen King, but I think I just because I watched Welcome to Derry, I think that's why he's in my brain. He developed a signature where he doesn't have to move his wrist.
Right.
See,
is that something?
Yeah. No, that is very much. My advice was given to me by Mary Robinette Kowal.
Also a great one to get advice from.
Yep. And she said that one, to make sure that it's not your legal signature. Yeah. And that was kind of like oh crap. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. And then make sure it's something that you can write a bunch. In my case, I actually made it something that I have to write slow, which seems counterintuitive, but it means that I'm not putting as much pressure.
You're not pushing as hard. Yeah.
So it forces, so instead of like the signature where in Brandon's case, like it forces him not to use his wrist, this one, it forces you to write slower so that you can.
Though there's also minimal pressure on the wrist as well. It's not completely free. Although that's a life goal of mine is to, well, there used to be like this whole writing course, this whole writing technique that used to be very, very popular that was designed to not move your wrist at all. So cursive writing, no wrist movement at all, but it takes a lot of training, and I haven't put in because it's
smart to do that way, and efficient. Yeah, of course, and especially with A Chorus of Dragons is your big series that Tor published, and it is complete.
Yes.
Which is great for, I know people love to hear that, but I will caveat that with a great way to ensure a series never gets finished is to wait for it to be finished before you start reading it.
Yeah. That is, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen authors never get to finish their series because the numbers just weren't coming in and the publisher was like, well, we're sorry, but this isn't selling. And it is absolutely heartbreaking, but it has happened. So yeah.
I mean, that's incredibly sad, but like, that's how, I mean, like it's the same thing with like, TV shows, like, oh, I like to wait to binge it.
Then it might not be there to binge. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I get it when it's a necessity, like, oh, I work nights or I don't have the money to buy the book, to buy them all right now, I can wait, I gotta wait till they go on paperback or things like that's fine. But when you're just you can support the art that you obviously are enjoying, you should support it.
But I always tell people, if you don't have the money, the best way to support your local art, your local writers and your favorite authors is the library. Because that counts. It actually does count.
That counts into the analytics of how the book is doing. Yeah, of course. I'm glad that counts. You know what? I never really considered that.
It counts. It definitely is one of the things that they track is how much it's getting looked at from the library, because those things will usually turn into sales later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if
Right.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you have a favorite book that you first read as a library book, you might go out and buy it. That happens a lot. So.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, probably a little less so, with the advent of, digital books and Amazon and, libraries are just not as what they were when we were kids. But I'm glad to see that that's still something that's so relevant in the consumption of media that, they track it for marketing purposes. Because it's not like they're going to track that unless it is poignant. They're not going to waste the money for it, at least that's how I feel. Like, marketing people aren't want to waste money on that in that regard.
Right.
Not that they don't waste money.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I mean, we love the libraries. I mean, that's where I discovered most of my love for most of the nerd shit that I'm into today is the library.
I pretty much grew up in my local library, so same. Yeah, definitely.
Our local, I say Aaron and I's local library growing up was a pretty good. It was big. It was very big. It was a very big library. I don't know if I think they've redone it since we were, in school and things, like the town library. We had school libraries, but those were tiny comparatively. What kind of, you don't have to dox yourself, obviously, but I'm curious in chat and also you guys, like, where did you grow up, like, locally, and like, did you go to your local libraries as kids, and like how it, like, did you notice any difference in, like, places that you've lived or moved in the local libraries? I guess Jen first.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, I never really got a chance to confirm this, but I firmly think that my mother, where she chose to have us live, was, absolutely informed by the fact that we were 3 blocks away from a library. So, she knew she could find me at the library, and that was just a thing. And then right now this is not a secret, it's in my writer's bio. I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta has good libraries. They have a lot of them, and they're really good.
I like to hear that.
Yeah. So it's some really just lovely libraries down here.
Oh yeah, Kansas City is very much that way. I live on the Kansas side, but I'm just a few blocks from state line. We have fantastic libraries, and they even do like interlibrary loaning, which is wonderful. So you can get something like from one of the Missouri libraries with your Kansas. It's great. I love it so much. It's something we try to instill in my son too, is his love of libraries and like all the programs they do. He loves books, which makes my heart very, very, very happy. So
yay.
Yeah.
The whatchamacall, we used to go to the library, like, it was it was.
Do you guys have a fancy library where you live though? Like, one of the libraries is just like the fancy one, the nicer one? We definitely, I feel like we do in our area. Maybe not as much anymore, but there was like the big it was the central library, and it was like the big nice one, and then you had
I grew up like 20 miles outside of Manhattan, so like most of there's only not to get into like the weeds on I don't even know what you would call it, like the way cities are founded in New York, but there's only like 3 cities on Long Island, and includes Manhattan. So like most of the libraries were like local municipal libraries for like large areas. It wasn't like every town had a library, except our town, because we didn't live in a town, or what most of the places on Long Island are incorporated villages for whatever reason. I'm sure that there's tax and all kinds of permitting reasons why they do that. Yeah. But the town that Aaron and I grew up in was called Long Beach, and it was the city of Long Beach because it was an actual city. So we had a city library, and it was legitimately a really nice library. and I think like a lot of the schools from the bordering towns would come to that library when they went to the library. So yeah, I think we did have the fancy library.
That's excellent. That's very good.
Yeah, obviously nothing like, you know, the New York Library in Manhattan that's like in every movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I never lived close to that fancy a library. That's another level of library.
Oh, that's nice. Stocking up on, like, go to the library, stock up on like 3-4 books.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And then head out. I just miss that smell. That's what it is.
I think that's where I learned to love the smell of books. That's why
probably.
I'm a book sniffer.
There's a famous bookstore in Manhattan. I forgot what it's called. The one that has like it has bookshelves. It's in a bunch of movies. I forgot what it's called. Maybe Aaron will remember it, or someone will shout it out in chat. But it's a famous bookstore. Everyone goes to it. Yeah, I don't think that's. Yeah, the Strand. That's it. The Strand. Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah. That store has a very particular book smell when you are in that store. That is the smell that anytime I get that book smell, that's the memory that pops in my head.
Right.
So tonight's episode of Agatha has so many references in it. I think I numbered them in my notes, and I stopped at like 40, I think.
Oh my God. He's in full on Wheel of Time mode now. He can't be stopped.
I can't be stopped. My notes are long and extensive, and I probably will reference them twice because that's how I operate. But a few of the things that I wanted to call out that I thought were a little crunchy for me and I might be reaching, and I wanted to get chat and your guys' opinion on this. So we know that they reference the Wizard of Oz a lot throughout the series. You know, they do. Yeah. There's the books from he had the full series of books on his shelf. We showed in another episode. He's got the posters on the wall that we show, and obviously Crystal was dressed as the Wicked Witch last week for our where's the picture?
It's still a little green. It won't go away, you guys.
Stupid. I got rid of the picture in our thing.
Okay, we don't need to relive it. I was green for multiple days.
Oh. Never mind. I didn't delete it. Yes, I was also green for I was finding green in my ear.
Yeah, no, it would be like behind my ear, the like sides of my neck that I didn't see well. Yeah.
Oh, and Catherine was really cute, dressed as
she was adorable.
Yeah, Glinda or Liliana or whoever. That was great. I was really happy with that. But I noticed a couple of things that I felt like I might be reaching. Let me pull them up.
Okay.
All right, so this one, I just got to share my screen so that we can zoom. We have to be able to zoom enhance, which isn't real.
Did you lighten them? Did you pre-lighten the images?
I did pre-lighten them. Okay, so this is obviously from Wizard of Oz. It's in the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
And they're escaping a storm by going into the storm cellar.
Right. Which
is how the movie starts. And then we have Agatha, and this is in this episode, coming out of a storm cellar into a storm, and that's how we end this show.
Okay.
So I feel like it's the reverse of the Wizard of Oz. No,
sure. I don't feel like that's reaching at all.
No.
Okay. All right. No. I'm glad that you
guys.
I mean,
they've been really heavy-handed with the Wizard of Oz in this, so I agree. Approve.
And I mean, it's also such a situation where, like, honestly, even if they didn't intend it, they've put so much work into it that this sort of thing just starts to leach in subliminally. So, yeah, no, I think it's valid.
I didn't. I shared just that picture instead of the whole window because that was being silly. And here's her coming out of the out of the storm cellar into a literal storm, and it's almost like a tornado. Like you can see the sky is like weird colors, just like that happens with the tornado. It's like yellow and like orange. Sometimes people have reported green too, which is
green's pretty common.
Apropos for the Green Witch that's sitting on the roof in the other part of the scene. And then we have, where's the other Wizard of Oz one? I mean, the other Wizard of Oz one is a little bit of a reference to the entirety of this episode in general, which is just when at the end of the show, at the end of the movie, Dorothy wakes up from a dream, and she realizes that it was a creation in her head. Everything,
Right.
or however you want to look at that. There's lots of the plays and the extended universe books and other movies that scarred our childhood in the early 80s.
It's why we all have anxiety now, you guys.
It's true. That Return to Oz movie with Fairuza Balk is just no joke. But similarly to Dorothy in when she wakes up here, we have him waking up, and one of the first things that he does when he's back at home is he wipes that mirror off and can clearly see himself. So he's seeing clearly for the first time, maybe. And then, we go around the room, and this is when he notices, oh, this was just, I did this, we have the Lorna.
He has his Kaiser Soze moment.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking too. He connects all the dots. It was a really good, that's a really good reference.
But yes, he is waking up to realize that he made it all up.
Yes. And my favorite part about that is this shot in particular.
Yes, I noticed that the first time I watched it and just laughed.
Why did you laugh? Because I know our brains are very similar, so
because the craft and the
yes. And Carrie, the one that really made me laugh in this image was Saw.
Oh,
and
okay,
because he literally captured all these people and then tortured them through some puzzly torture events that they could escape if they did the thing. And it's literally that's Saw. It's Saw. And then the Carrie references, there's a ton of Carrie references throughout this, but the one that really stood out after watching the cinematographer talked about it in the episode where they go back and it's the 60s and they're singing the song. They do a lot of the still frame shuffles where it's they have a split screen and then there's a still frame and then a shuffling montage of shots.
Right.
And that they do that a lot in Carrie, which I didn't remember because I haven't seen the original Carrie in fucking forever.
That needs to go on our movie rewatch list.
That's
and
fair.
so does The Craft. Is The Craft on there too?
The Craft is on there. I will make a note right now to add Carrie though. And that's a perfect opportunity to remind everybody in chat. And Jen, if you have any thoughts too, if any movies or TV shows pop out to you, we're constantly adding movies and TV shows to our list of what should we watch next? Which gives me the perfect segue to bring up the post that I'm sure Erin might have made already on social media. If not, she'll probably make any second. For what movie should we watch next? Because next week is our finale episode 9, which is a little odd for our streaming TV shows nowadays. Finale, and then we got to watch a movie afterwards. So these are the films that we landed on this time. The Fifth Element, which I feel needs no reasoning why it's there because it's just a fantastic movie. Crystal specifically asked for Vampire in the Bronx.
I really wanted to see this last time it was on our list. So
yes, it's very exciting. It's such a good movie. If you like those it's a recent movie. And if you like those 80s kind of buddy kid, Monster Squad, Goonies, The Explorers we talked about, a while back, the one with the alien in the summer camp, I can't remember what that one was called, but it's basically that, but in the Bronx with a bunch of kids fighting vampires who are gentrifying their neighborhood. It's hilarious. And then Crystal, you said you didn't see The Brothers Grimm, right?
No, I haven't. That's the only one on our list that I hadn't already seen.
Nice. So that's what made me think of it. And then I was also, witches and folk tales and stuff. Perfect. And then The Mummy, because Brendan Fraser recently announced that they are indeed making another The Mummy. So I was very excited about that.
Also, Erin did already post it because she's amazing.
Yay. So yes, go and check it out. There's it's on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll get a poll going in the general chat on Discord as well. Then something new that we're going to do, and I think we're going to do just going forward for all of our polls, if everyone in chat is okay with it, which I'm 99% sure everyone will be, is we're going to take the top 2 from that poll and all polls going forward for TV shows and movies, and during next week's show, live vote what we'll watch, so that
I think
yes,
that's perfect because you guys are the ones here every week anyway.
Exactly.
Like, we always have our friends, so
and you know, putting it out on social media is a way to get, you know, maybe more people to watch, advertise it a little bit, but like you said, we get to reward our people who actually come and watch the things, and you get to pick what you're going to, you know, what we are going to rewatch with you guys. So I thought that was a good one. Well, I hope maybe we'll remedy that.
Come on, guys. I'm going to keep putting it on there until we pick it. That's what's going to happen.
I'm down to watch any of those movies. I really enjoy all 4 of them, so I'm down to watch any of them. But we're watching Agatha tonight, and that
we are episode 8.
reminds me, Erin will share in a couple of minutes a link in chat to how to join the watch party. It'll link you to our Discord, and if you go to that, you'll be able to follow instructions on how to do our watch party. And we'll get that going in a few minutes. If you don't want to join and go through Discord and join the watch party and all that nonsense, I will have my little handy dandy clock on my screen down there in the lower left, right, whatever side it is. And you guys can follow along that way. I'll align the times so that you guys can line them up on your own show and follow along that way. But we'll give everyone 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so while we keep chin wagging before we jump into the episode.
Well, we still have to talk about what Jen's doing now. We can talk about shows we've watched.
Yes.
A couple options.
Thank you.
I say we kick it to Jen. That's my.
All right.
So, I will remember to make an actual clip for this so that we can make it an official segment, because I keep forgetting to do that. But it's like, what are we watching now, or what are you doing, or like what entertainment are you consuming now that is just for your own personal enjoyment? So yeah, Jen.
Well, my husband has been trying to get me to do this for a while now, but I've always sort of called it off as being too busy. But we have started watching season 4 of Critical Role.
Yeah.
So we're watching that as those come out.
Campaign 4, right?
Campaign 4.
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah, you're right.
And that's with and I grabbed a picture before we started.
That's Brennan Lee Mulligan is DMing instead of Matt Mercer. Which
for our I feel like for people who are watching that don't follow, you probably have heard, just being connected to the Wheel of Time community, you probably heard the term Critical Role or Dimension 20 and heard the names Matt Mercer, Brennan Lee Mulligan. They're just really famous live play D&D players, essentially, and they're the DMs, but they're two separate shows. So Dimension 20 is Brennan Lee Mulligan, Critical Role is Matt Mercer, and now Brennan Lee Mulligan is coming over to host there, which is really cool. Yeah. So what is it? So you've been watching it though? I haven't watched it.
Yes. I highly recommend it. It's pretty darn good. By pretty darn good, I mean kind of amazing, honestly. Brennan's kind of they apparently have given him just sort of carte blanche to go wild, and he is.
That's awesome.
So he's doing a lot of really interesting things from a game perspective that are really fascinating for me, somebody who's been playing D&D for many years. And so Matt, who normally is the DM for all of these, is a PC for this campaign. And
this is Brennan. And this is Matt.
Yeah. And it's just been super interesting. It's been really, really a lot of fun. Also, very emotionally gutting at times. I mean, like the series starts on this this one hero of a war and a failed rebellion about to be executed, and almost all the PCs have gathered together to try to save him.
Okay.
And I am going to spoiler this, but it gets spoiled very quickly.
Okay.
They fail.
And that's the insinuating quest.
That's the spark that everything else comes from. And yeah, it's funny, it's grim, it's dark as hell.
Okay.
The world building is super interesting. It's this D&D world where it is around 70 years after all of the mortal races have killed the gods.
Oh,
okay.
Literally have killed all the gods. And it is 70 years down the line. And
the repercussions of that, I'm sure, are just...
I mean, yeah, there are definitely like ongoing repercussions of that, but also just the social repercussions and the political repercussions and all of the things that are happening. And 70 years down the line, there's still these incredibly rich oligarchs that are in charge of everything. And okay, the gods aren't in charge of everything, but there's still this problem where the rich people are still in charge of everything. And some groups are trying to like create new religions that are perhaps not backed by actual deities, but humans, we mortals like our religions. So they're trying to introduce like just doing some really interesting things with the world building and with kind of departing from the usual. I mean, Matt Mercer always departed from the usual classes, as I understood it. He was very fond of doing like custom classes and custom things like that. But Brendan's just kind of going and really doing his own thing, not so much as far as the classes are concerned, but as far as the story is concerned.
Yeah, because so when you mentioned it, I looked real quick just to see what rules they were using on the classes side of things. They're using the updated 2024 D&D rules. Yes. So they're not using, which is odd. They're not using they're
not using Daggerheart. They're not using
Daggerheart. Yeah,
they're not using Daggerheart. Which that is interesting. But that was a choice. Yeah, and it's definitely one of those situations where I'm not even sure how much the rules matter, because there's a lot of theater of the mind happening that is not necessarily role mechanic dependent all the time. No. Although I gotta say that Sam has sometimes when you play a character and you set a character up and the RNG agrees that this is how we're going to play that character, and
you just have to kind of
what's happening here. I've seen that dude roll more natural 20s in this game. You're just like, so what the hell, dude?
Now we watched Vox Machina in one of our past rewatch shows. So just in case people don't remember, this was Vox Machina. Yes. Lots of fun. Very similar cast of voice actors and players to the cast that's currently there. Yeah. I understand this is not a continuation or anything like that.
No, this is a brand new world. The world building is completely fresh. Like I said, the gods have been destroyed, and it's like each race had each race had a creator god that was responsible for, but then those creator gods also had their own portfolios, their own bailiwicks. Like the goddess of the elves was also the goddess of life, and the god of the halflings was also the trickster god. So there's a sort of that sort of theming that happened, and the orc god was also the god of war.
Okay.
So
is it breaking the first thing that popped in my head as you're describing it right now is like, is it breaking the the stereotypes of those things to those species or races or however you want to categorize
Well, there's
them?
a lot of really interesting things that are happening because those gods are no longer around to enforce certain stereotypes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the orcs aren't as warish.
Yeah, the major there's two orc PCs. Yeah, there's two orc PCs running through. One of them is a druid, and the other one is a bard.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, like the orcs in the in Dolmakiar, the place where they start off, are very very erudite, very sophisticated, very
words you hear.
yeah, they're not there's no primitiveness happening at all, and you kind of get the feeling that maybe there was 70 years ago,
but they've evolved.
But they no longer have somebody enforcing those stereotypes, so they get to do what they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I it's been fascinating. I highly recommend it. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna.
How
honestly,
far in? How many episodes in are they? Do you know?
I think is it 8?
Okay.
It's 7 or 8 at this point, I think. Yeah. So.
I don't know why this is funny. Why is this? I saw there was someone with a lisp. The stand-up comedian doing crowd work, and he was making fun of somebody, and he didn't realize that. Oh, and tone deaf, a bard who has a lisp in his stand-up. That's good. He was like, they were talking, and the guy said something, and he was making fun of the way he said it, not noticing that he had a lisp. And he's like, no one else says it like that. He's like, well, you would if you had a lisp. And he was like, well, I guess I'll just kill myself now. And like, it was fantastic. But anyway, I had a bard once, and it was in our game, a past game that I played with Jen, actually. I had a bard, instead of playing an instrument, she sang.
Oh.
So like I like all the bards that I've played, I feel like in the and at least all the bards that I have played, where I've actually played them as like a full character, not in like a one shot, have done something other than playing an instrument as their performance. One was an artist, like painted, and another one was a stand-up comedian. I
don't think that was with me though, because
Regina.
The thing. Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, Regina.
I played Regina George, essentially.
We were playing our own version of Brennan Lee Mulligan's Fantasy High, right? Different setting, different, but same kind of idea, right? Yep. So it's still the Breakfast Club kind of,
Erin was the big dumb jock.
Yep.
Except she would talk back to your point about you have to let the roles determine the character. She kept crit successing on wisdom rolls.
Well, or like there would be some sort of knowledge roll that
intelligence.
That everybody in the group that should have known it would completely flub, and here she is, and she would roll a 20, and even with the minuses for her int, she would still have the high roll, and it was really funny.
Yeah,
just be that.
It would be like, I guess I watched a documentary last night on this subject.
Yeah.
Speaking of watching documentaries last night, let's get ready to watch this episode right now. I'm gonna give just like the warning. We're gonna give you a countdown in a minute here, so everyone get their things ready. It was a lot of fun, the game that we played. To press play if you're following along with the clock. I have it queued up for 10 seconds. And if you're just in the watch party, you don't have to do anything. You should just be able to sit there and watch.
Nice.
In the watch party, you can adjust volume and things on your own. Yeah. And the subtitles are on, in fact.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Rapunzel from Tangled is basically a painting bard.
Oh.
I like that. I don't know if Rapunzel paints. She has a lot of talents. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she paints. We'll find out in a second, I'm sure. All right, here we go. I'll give everyone a countdown now, and then I can press play and line up the timer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play. So So it should be playing for everybody in the thing, and then the
Yep.
timer is aligned and moving. Yay! Okay.
It works.
I like when things work. That's my favorite. There's, like I said, so much in this episode. Specifically, right at the beginning, we see Alice get escorted to the afterlife, which is pretty awesome. But one of the things they do is they do this interesting thing with the camera and the shots. They show her like this. Also, not her from the 60s or whatever, like when she died, or the 80s from when she died. Like, she's not in her costume. She's not all shriveled and wrinkly or whatever. She's just laying dead in the cabin. Then they flip her upside down when she opens her eyes.
Yeah.
Like she's in the afterlife or the upside down. And I Googled upside down and witchcraft, and the very first thing that popped up was as above, so below.
Oh.
And it's a reference to life and the afterlife. So I thought that was fun. The other thing here, and I'm interested to see if you guys agree with this too, is Rio Vidal. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Is Spanish, like España Spanish, for river of life.
Yeah.
And I mentioned at the time that it made me think of Chiron, the guy that ferries souls over the river Styx in the Roman and the Greek mythologies. And now we're actually seeing her do that here, which is, I feel like, different. Oh, there's no sound, people were saying. There we go. Now there's sound.
There we go. I was about to ask.
Sorry. Now there's sound.
Should I be hearing sound?
Yes. And you should be able to adjust your own volume independently, but the sound is there now. We don't see her body until she sees it like this, which is interesting. Do you guys think, because of the way that they're showing this here, we may see Alice again in any future Marvel endeavors?
I mean, I think they definitely leave it open to that.
She never says that it is the end. Like, she says this can't be the
Look,
end.
It's Marvel. Nothing's ever the end.
That's fair. The thing that was poignant there for me was she never says like this is the end or it is over, you are dead. She doesn't say that. She just says you're a protection witch and you died protecting somebody, and then she walks away. So it's like maybe there's more for her now. And damn, she's got some abs.
Look at her abs. That's what.
Those are some abs.
I feel like she should have said something here. Like it would have been a really funny.
I was waiting for it because they were so pronounced.
Yeah. And I get it is sad she's dead, and like she's coming to terms with that in that moment. Like but I also just feel like it would have been funny if she'd been like, man, my abs look so good. That's so like I didn't even get a chance to show them off or something. Like, just I don't know.
It would have broken the moment.
Yeah, whatever. You're 100% right. This is just how my brain works. And then here's our title sequence.
To glory.
The back of the door there. I don't know if you guys remember in the last episode when they entered she was banging on the door and it had the metal spikes coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They entered through an Iron Maiden.
In
the last episode. I was like, what's that thing called? I forgot. Also, I went back and rewatched the Alice episode just to see if there was any, like maybe a hint at death moving her body or anything. Like, just there wasn't. But I noticed that the exact moment when Alice dies is when the door to leave opens.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's dead on the floor, and in the background is this door opening, which I thought was
she looks so good here.
I know.
It is nice.
The bodies were really piling up.
Sounds about right.
The Aubrey Plaza, just the way she delivers lines is wonderful.
Well, and
Oh,
they're dynamic. I mean, it's been great from the jump, from the very first episode. The two of them are fantastic.
Oh yeah. So speaking of the way she delivers lines, this is so Jenn in a minute here is going to say that like we should have known that she was death because she told us in the beginning. And oh, why isn't it playing?
In the very
There it goes.
beginning.
Less a green witch, more the green witch.
Yeah.
And hold on, where is that? I gotta pause it on their faces because why isn't it working? Okay,
No.
doesn't want to work. They made some good faces though after she said that. They were like,
Yes.
Yeah.
okay, no problem. Sorry about that.
You know,
Sorry.
if Thanos knew about this conversation, he'd be just so upset.
Yes. So do you want to tell people why for people that aren't comic book readers?
Okay, so in the comics, less in the MCU, but in the comics, Thanos is obsessed with death. He is all but stalking her.
And that's why he
Yeah,
does
that
the
is
whole snap
why
thing.
He does, yeah. Why he does the snap thing is he is it's like an I love you letter, right? Like
To death.
he's to death. And as is always the case, here's death pining for some other person.
And here's where she says we should have known because she told us in the beginning, which is a reference to her literally telling them that, because the idea of death in the Marvel show, at least, in which I liked what they're doing with it, is that she's a green witch, the green witch, but she is representative of not just death but new life. So I find that another interesting tidbit for like her being associated with Billy now, who is also like a new life.
Please note, this is also very much about my book, Green and Deadly Things, coming out in March.
Yes. Oh shit, the Green and Deadly Things. I don't have the cover art for it.
Yeah.
Aaron will grab one for me. And then we'll remind everybody at the end where to find everything.
Yes.
There is a link in the description of this YouTube video for anyone watching back or watching now. You can go and find the link to Jenn's website, which will get you to all of the socials and things where you can find her books. And I will share it again in chat as well. So Green and Deadly Things is nature oriented, obviously.
It's nature oriented and it's necromancy oriented.
Yay!
The cycle of life and death.
Fun things. The way that they did that in the show with the death card too was fun. When she had a flower, like a blooming flower that was open in one hand and the knife in the other hand. It was really cool. And then her costume now is very also reminiscent of witchy things. I mean, nature-y things. Hold on, I got some pictures of that. Where is the one of just her bust? Like her bust. I don't know if you could see it right now. It has has vine work all over it.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Like it's all vines and roots, and even her crown too. Can't really see it in this shot. I have a better one of it, but I took this image for this because it's gorgeous. Yeah, they're even hiding it now because they want it to be bigger when they reveal it later. You'd see them hiding it with her hair. That's not like by accident, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is important.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to see your face.
She really is good at the con.
Oh, yeah.
She really is.
So,
Gotta respect the skill.
one thing I noticed with her, like on that note about the con, is when she's being dramatic is usually when she's conning or lying or whatever. When she's more flat and serious is when she's being honest.
Yeah.
So if she's being melodramatic or big or theatrical, she's lying.
Yeah.
Which
And
is a
again,
good thing to remember for the next episode.
Thanos out in the universe somewhere going, nah, me.
Son of a bitch.
Take me.
This is why I love Erin. She quickly sent me a image for the Green and Deadly Things book, which I remember when you showed us the cover now. It is gorgeous.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yes, I love it. When does it come out?
March.
Okay.
I need to go in and pre-order.
Gotta add that to my... Yeah.
I know.
Yep. It is available for pre-order now.
On all of the places?
And all of the places.
We will remind everybody again as well. Again, because if you want to see more books get written, pre-ordering and things like that is important. If you can swing it, not saying like,
Also, if you can't afford it, supporting whatever your local indie bookstore is.
Yes.
Also much appreciated.
And Green and Deadly Things is a standalone, just FYI.
Perfect. They did a lot of fun things with his wardrobe. You're not going to really get a good shot of it here, but you could see like he's got an evil eye on it's sewn into his shirt. Yeah, he's got a lot of embroidery on that shirt. One of them is the crown, is the Scarlet Witch's crown. We pointed it out in another episode. One of the costume designers referenced it, but they did the way that they tied all of the big witches' crowns together. I kind of like that. Like they all look very similar, like in design.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Obviously, this is from later, but still.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
We're full spoilers for Agatha. We've been since the beginning. And here she is again. So she's being theatrical. She's being, dramatic. She's lying. So basically, everything that she's saying right now, you should take the opposite of. And this episode, they really get heavy-handed with the showing us that this is a creation in Billy's mind.
Yeah.
Basically, Agatha drops the charade in a second here and directly asks Billy why they're back at the beginning of the road right now. Like she's going to ask him in a second. And then she says, like, if you don't know, don't answer. Like, don't give it away. If like you're not going to tell us. But he still doesn't really know for sure yet either. Yeah. Now she's mad because she's like, we're almost at the end of this shit. Yeah. See, if you don't know, then keep quiet. The tonal changes that she has too are great. Oh, now we get to see all the witches that we've lost. I was
gonna say all the ones who are gone. Poor Mrs. Hart.
Yeah.
Fine.
Cutting
we'll do the whole damn thing again.
Proscenium. That's a flower, isn't it? Proscenium. Erin apparently didn't recognize that word, but proscenium is a flower, right? I think so. I don't remember. Oh yeah, yes. When she leaves, she cuts through the backdrop. Yes. When Rio Vidal, when she leaves the road, she slices through the backdrop, which is another reference to Wizard of Oz. I feel like because very poignantly, a lot of the backgrounds in Wizard of Oz are just painted backdrops.
Yeah.
And then here's another one. They put their shoes on and they go home.
Tap your shoes together.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you. This was a good little sneak. Like it was a sneaky comedy thing that Agatha says here. Jen's struggling inside of her body bag. She's like, "Don't steal her struggle." Here she comes. Don't steal her struggle. It was just fucking, the way she said it, so she had the finger on the head. It was fucking hilarious. This is the one that really gave me the Saw vibes too.
Oh yeah, for sure. I thought the first one was so good, and then the series it eventually jumped the shark. It was too much. I liked the first couple, but the first one in particular was good.
Yeah. The story has grown on me the more I've watched it. I also was not a fan of the way it ended at first, but the more I've watched it and the more I've done this deep dive, I have learned to appreciate it more. We can talk about that when we watch the last episode, but there is some of that is built up obviously in this episode too. Her most precious. So everyone has like one of their most precious belongings. It's their, what did they call them? Their anchors or their talismans or some shit.
It always was worthless, Wiccan.
Yep. You didn't need it. You never needed it.
Aaron, don't ever watch it. You don't need to see Saw.
Yeah.
No.
It's because you got them little legs, Nomengard. No, I'm joking. She goes, I didn't talk about, never mind, doesn't matter.
What?
We never talked about things that we've watched.
Oh, you can do that after.
Yeah, I just had a thing because I saw the image from last week when we talked about Indiana Jones, and there was an Indiana Jones reference in the thing that I watched, but it doesn't matter. So now we see the clock is ticking down every time they take a wrong turn, where before the ceiling was coming down every time they do something wrong.
Oh gosh.
The only thing that I noticed out of whack with that was like when they do a wrong thing, it ticks down by 1, but every time Billy gets angry and the clock ticks down, it ticks down by 2.
Oh.
I don't like know if they're like I can't really, other than like this is his creation and technically he's doing it. Other than that, I can't think of a reason why that would happen. This is like, this was crazy. I remember watching this for the first time being like, oh my God. Her eyes are also strikingly blue in these shots.
Mm.
She is the Blue Witch. I like how she used her hair to bind her.
I mean, that's tradition.
Oh yeah. Very, very Wiccan. Not the superhero Wiccan, but the ritualistic, traditional religion Wiccan. Never leave your hair or blood behind. Or tell people your true name.
Yep.
So like the stripping of this here is like what I felt Agatha's last vestiges of seeing herself as the villain going away. Because from here on, and she even has I didn't notice it until just that moment when she was standing there with her hands open. That's literally like a Jesus. That's a Jesus pose. Hmm. That's in the Bible. That's Jesus as he's resurrected. I literally just noticed that. So perfect description of rebirth for Agatha there. The very first thing she does is free Jenn, unbind her. And now from now on, we have maybe not fully good Agatha, but no longer evil Agatha.
Well, I mean, that was also, both of these characters are trapped in worlds of their own making.
Oh yeah, all of the people in this were, yeah.
Yeah, but
100%.
it's particularly egregious for Agatha and Wiccan.
Oh yeah,
Billy.
Yes, wholeheartedly agree. And this episode is for both of them the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still like, I feel like she's still trying to put that security blanket back on of being her old self. Mm-hmm. Here we go. See, 2 went out. 2 will go out again.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of rituals are you doing, Nomengard?
Yeah.
You would think something like a stylist place would be poignant to go to for spellcasters, but there's just too much hair. So every time a magic person in Marvel wants to do something big and strong and powerful that isn't like in the moment, like it's a planned thing like this, they meditate. I feel like I was like looking up the other big magic things that I could think of that were like this like similar level of power being involved was this when Doctor Strange was doing his stuff. And also like the only time that Wanda really does like magic that is not just her being chaos magic is when she's messing around with the Darkhold, and also similar. Yeah. I don't think there's too much to read into with that. It's just like, you know, Marvel likes to make them meditate when they do magic stuff because I feel like it invokes that in the viewer's brain.
It makes it feel different than just superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a stereotype thing, like because like we're Western people and like a lot of the Eastern traditions have to do with meditation and like we put those in our brains as like, you know, magic and things like that. I don't know. It's the only read into it that I have. And here's the fully realized Agatha, Blue Witch, Spirit Witch, helping Billy heal his spirit and find his brother's spirit. So in the background here, you're going to hear a lot of fun, like little references to the WandaVision show. There's a particularly a line that we'll hear in a second is Vision and Wanda specifically saying, where's the quote? Okay, Vision says, "We've said goodbye before, so it stands to reason." And then Wanda finishes the sentence, "We'll say hello again." Mm. You'll hear Vision say that in a second when they go into their montage of nonsense. Also, Billy, she says, "Oh, strong emotional reactions make less control." Yeah, yes. Okay, that makes sense.
If they want, control over what they're doing, they have to focus.
Now he's seeing Tommy now, his brother.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to follow with all the names. Billy, Tommy, William, Wiccan, Teen. And this is the body that he's going to be replacing. Looks like a kid who is being bullied by a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
And
no one is paying attention.
And he dies. And there he is. So we know we're going to get Vision Quest, and I feel like they wouldn't be doing a Vision Quest and building all the stuff with the magic that they're doing and not be referencing or bringing in a big way Wanda and Billy and these things. So I'm really thinking we're going to see them in Doomsday or somewhere in there. Yeah, what's up, Arosa? When does Vision Quest come out? I forgot.
I do not know.
Let's ask the Google machine while we watch.
I bet Gnome is faster, but he's faster than Google.
That's fair.
Oh, darn. I thought he got it.
So obviously now we know that that's Nicholas Scratch's hair.
Yeah.
It just says 2026 as of right now. So
Okay.
we'll see if it's, I'm sure it'll be before Doom, whatever it is. Who knows? My time is, my concept of time has been messed up since COVID.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's accurate. But also this year has felt like an eternity.
Oh, it's a dandelion scene. Right. I was like, what is that? Dandelion scene. So it's almost like she's summoning Rio.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's got Nicholas's hair, death, and then new life with the dandelion seed, which then grows.
Yeah.
And it goes through its whole life cycle really fast, if I remember right. Yeah, I think so. Fucking Aubrey Plaza is
I love her in this scene.
epic in this.
Love it.
Yeah, this scene, but
In life, yeah, no. As a human, she's great. But.
yeah, I just love her. Bless you. That's my other friendo.
Yeah.
And Earth, or nature, just falling into this room, and here we go. Here we are. And opening the storm cellar into a storm. Here it is. Lightning, thunder, wind, just like the Wizard of Oz, but in reverse. I think there's actually even a tornado.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No.
Or it's
So
in the
just-
background or something.
FYI, the green color is caused by the particulate matter in the air
During a tornado.
Mhm.
during a storm, but
During a storm.
Ugh.
Okay.
tornadoes. Yeah, there we go.
Her laugh is everything. So perfect.
So good. So good. So she's still not fully realized Agatha yet. She hasn't fully accepted yet.
Yeah.
When she does, she becomes the Blue Witch, which I think is really awesome, like the way they do it. So where is her costume change? Here it is. So this is her from the end of Wanda. And if you look, purple. Very purple.
Mm-hmm.
And in a minute here, no, this is also Wanda. Sorry. No, that's Wanda too. Sorry. It is this one because, yeah, she has clean fingers. Blue. You can see this one is blue. And her fingers aren't black.
Oh, yeah.
And, whose fingers either are deaths, but that's because she's not messing around with the Darkhold.
Yeah.
But we're going to see her in a second when she fully realizes herself.
Mm.
And we get also Wiccan as a fully realized Wiccan, which is great.
Yeah.
And here we go. When she calls you a coward, duck. She literally threw the kitchen sink at her. When everyone says everything but the kitchen sink, she threw the kitchen sink. And it was a 1970s kitchen sink with a double fucking kitchen that's 2 inches deep. And here we go. She repeats the same incantation she just did inside with the dandelion. Except this time, it's not just the dandelion that she has regrown. It's this. Anyone else think of the Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead movie?
No, but it's been ages since I've seen
No,
it.
I
So.
haven't seen that in a while.
This opening scene made me think of the first Evil Dead movie because when they first summon the death, which is what it is in the Evil Dead movie, they summon death. It uses vines and nature to attack the people.
Oh, yeah.
And here's our fully realized Wiccan.
Yeah.
And the other cool thing about this is it's the reverse of what Agatha used to do. Instead of forcefully taking a witch's powers, he gives them to her.
Yeah. Also, just take a moment to just, again, I've said this many, many times, but what perfect casting for him.
Yeah,
for
truly.
Billy.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally the first episode, the first time I saw it, I went, oh, that's Billy. Okay, cool. Because it's just so spot on.
Absolutely. I mean, Catherine Hahn in general too. Picking her for Agatha in the first place was genius, and I love her too. The kid is great. Yeah, everyone. I don't think I've had a single negative feeling about any of the casting of this entire show, other than I'm going to be sad that we don't see some of them anymore because they're dead.
Yeah.
And here she is. You could see everything is blue now, though, like really well. None of it is purple.
That's purple.
You'll see her power is, but the clothing is blue. Especially the cloak, which is the thing that is really purple. In that, like, see how blue that is?
It is.
Yeah.
More so here than even in the picture that you have.
But like, this is her from the end of Wanda.
Yeah.
Purple. Yeah.
Very purple. That is very blue. The thing I also picked up on about her and Death's relationship is that Death doesn't want to kill her, to end her. She wants to kill her because then she'll be with her forever.
Keep her.
Yeah, no, Death's in love.
Yeah.
Death's in love.
They both are, but it's a toxic
Very
relationship,
cool.
a toxic, violent relationship. Like this woman, like from Agatha's point, it's an ex who doesn't want to let her go is going to kill her because she can't have her, and killing her is the only way she'll have her. Like, that's not an uncommon thing in the real world, sadly.
Is that a scary kind of love?
Yeah. That is true. I see way less colors than Erin does. But I really feel like I'm right in this case, right?
No,
like that's very blue,
different.
right?
Yeah, that is blue. That is not purple. That is blue.
Yeah. And it matches his crown like a lot. Like the same hue of blue.
Not exactly, but I see your point. I do see your point.
The other thing I saw when I looked up, and I think I saw that my friend Elda's in chat, who is actually a practicing witch. I looked up references to death in the Wiccan lore, and one of the characters who follows the similar process characters, one of the gods or goddesses that follows a similar process to what Rio Vidal follows in this show, a domain over death and new life and guiding souls into the afterlife, is the horned god from Wiccan, which is also very nature oriented, obviously. And if you just Google horned god Wiccan, it sounds like a description of Rio Vidal or the Green Witch from this. This is also the first time Agatha and Wiccan are conversing telepathically. Yeah. Every other time, Wiccan has said that she was blocking him or there was a block. Hern, yes, that's another reference to a similar god or goddess. There's a lot that line up. Hern is from Druidism, though. And he's the goddess of the forest.
God of the hunt.
Yeah. She isn't, by the way, I had this thought too. Death isn't killing her here. She is taking Death's power.
No.
Here, listen. Hold on. I'll show you why. In the first episode, Death goes, well, if I attacked you, you could just steal my power. And Agatha says,
but
You know that would kill me.
In response to if she took her power.
Yeah,
That's the only reason why I think that's what like this was. It wasn't a, and when witches, when any magic user uses their magic on Agatha, she takes it.
Yeah, but this is death. This isn't a normal witch.
That's true, which is why it kills her. That's my thought. That's my thought.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on that one.
Okay.
I just think kissing death has consequences.
It's the kiss of death.
The kiss of death.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's also like
she's fully within her power right now.
Oh,
She has
Agatha, you mean?
No, death.
Oh, death too. Okay.
Death is fully within her power right now.
Oh,
She has had nothing stolen from her.
That's true. You're right. You're 100% right on that. And she's doing this part here because I felt like specifically the reference to the mushrooms. They grow on death. Mushrooms grow on death. Dying trees, dying animals, dying grass. Like they grow on decaying matter.
Yeah. And it is life from death. So no.
I think this isn't the last that we're going to see of Agatha, Wiccan, or Death, and mainly, of course. But again, spoilers for all of Agatha. But in the next episode, we see Agatha is in fact not alive, but still around in her spirit form, which means she's not with Death.
Well, no, she got that promise.
Yeah.
Death keeps her word.
Oh, I love when they did the. I love that. So good. And they used her voice. They just put it through a thing, but it looks. She looks great.
I mean, she said she'd take one of them. She took Agatha, so.
Yeah, but then Agatha ends up with Wiccan. So now, like, I'm sure she's not gonna be happy about that.
No, it's not going to occur to her later until she's been totally had.
Oh yeah, because Agatha, Agatha all along, she knew. Like, I feel like they're just telling you Agatha had a plan all along. Agatha knew all along. Agatha all along. Like, that's just it's the name of the show. Like, oh man, why does anyone still live in this fucking town? Also,
I don't know. I genuinely do not know. Like, guys, come on. I get that the property values are probably tanked here and you can't sell your houses, but
I didn't even think about it like that. Like, the property value is probably like demolished.
That's a $15 house, right?
Yeah, nobody can sell their house right now. So
I'm going to post a poll in chat.
Yeah, there were 30-year mortgages. They can't get out of it.
Yeah, they're all underwater, all of them. Yeah.
Okay, I'm posting a poll in chat. Would you have continued living in Westview after the hex dropped, or would you have left? Yes, no. I'm curious to see if people would have stayed.
Like, realistically,
to be fair,
yeah,
I can understand a lot of people here going, "Well, we're done now."
It couldn't possibly happen again.
It's over. She's gone.
Like, it can't happen in the same place twice. Like, lightning doesn't strike twice, so we're probably fine here. But if we go somewhere else,
we know who caused it, and she's gone now, so we're fine.
But they just all had to play along with Agatha pretending in the background.
Yeah.
I have another thing in my note here. When he put his hood on at the end there was the same way. Where is the image? I have so many tabs open.
Okay, no. Lightning always strikes twice. First up, then down.
Yeah. Well, mostly.
Fair. Mostly, yeah.
He puts the hood on there the same way at the end of Wanda Vision. Wanda did the same thing.
Sure. He is absolutely her kid.
Oh, yeah. And I made a clip of it, but I've lost it in my mess of images.
Yeah, Billy.
There it is. This is him realizing that he did it
Yeah.
all, that it was him. So yeah, Wanda putting her hood on and turning away from the camera and walking away was the same way that it ended. And then he did the same thing and did the hood,
Yeah.
which is
absolutely not a coincidence.
No.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a lot of shots from this. Obviously, so we talked about how a lot of the trees and things were references to like some of the centerpieces at his bar mitzvah, and now we're seeing other pieces of it from here, which I like.
Yeah.
Finally, he's putting 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. I put them together so he could see it.
Ah, good job.
And then we got him wiping the thing off. So now like he's going to be able to see clearly for the first time.
Yeah.
All the leaves from the road.
The leaves from the road.
The different colors. Yep.
Yeah, the Lorna Wu poster, the Wizard of Oz poster.
House.
Yeah. Wizard of Oz toys. The Carrie Saw and the Craft reference, which was great. We talked about that. He basically put everybody in rooms and did Saw to them.
Ouija board.
Yeah, the Ouija board, but we also have the hourglass,
Yep.
which is also a reference to the hourglass from, this is the only picture I could grab quickly from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
That's the hourglass from the Witch's Castle. All the moon references, which were very important to him. He has like 10 posters on his wall that are different phases of the moon. Poltergeist. I made the Poltergeist reference from the 80s Cabin episode where they had the TV in the background that was all fuzzy, but I didn't see a Poltergeist poster until this episode. And then there's that whole Wizard of Oz poster.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that we just saw in the background there. There it is. This tapestry is one of the last things that we saw at the end of the episode there.
Yep.
Tarot card of the moon. And if you Google, which I feel like they're going to take the most simplistic like meaning behind the card.
Mm-hmm.
Like the meaning of that card is internal or subconscious anxiety being projected out onto others. Which is
taken sometimes to the point of insanity, illusion, deception,
murder,
things not being what they seem. Yeah.
That's literally what Billy did, and resulted in the death of 3 or 4 women and 3 witches and one of his neighbors, or one of Agatha's neighbors in Mrs. Hart. But man, there's so much. I can't wait. I'm gonna pick through his bedroom, and if anyone else is interested in if you guys spotted anything that we haven't talked about or anything, especially in his bedroom, because there's so many knickknacks in the background there.
So much stuff.
Message them to me, because I want to go through and really pick through them and see what they did, because they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, they obviously just went through, and there isn't hardly an inch of wall that isn't covered with something. Yeah. And they're not gonna, I feel like they're not gonna do that, not on purpose, maybe some of the little things that are harder to see that aren't really poignant or focused on in shots, literally in focus, maybe are not references to things, but I feel like anything that is in focus on the camera is probably going to be a reference. Yeah. There's gonna be the tiny little inside jokes, but then there's also going to be the stuff that's a
great one. I didn't think about that being Baba Yaga's hut. I remember seeing that knickknack that there it is. That does look like Baba Yaga's hut.
No, that's Baba.
It's got the chicken feet.
That's Baba Yaga's hut. No, absolutely.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
So for those who don't know, it's Baba Yaga is basically the queen of the witches, essentially.
She's a character from folklore, mostly Russian folklore, who is not good or evil. There's as many folk stories in which she is terrible and murderous as there are in which she saves the day. She's a complicated character.
Sounds familiar, maybe?
It sounds familiar, yeah.
I also like Baba Yaga. If you play D&D, she's pretty prominent in the Strahd campaign, the Curse of Strahd. She appears as Baba Yaga in that with her cursed hut, which is alive. I did like that. I was looking at it. I didn't realize that it had the 2 legs. That's a great pick. Good job, Aaron. Proud of you. Man, I this show, I enjoyed it when it first came out, and I going back and doing these rewatches with some of with these shows. Obviously, we're not going to pick shows to put in the things that we don't at least vaguely enjoy. Yeah. But I get a real deep appreciation for these shows going back and rewatching them like this, and I really enjoy it. I don't think we've run into a show yet that I haven't felt has been made not better but richer or deeper for me, at least.
Didn't we did Lord of the Rings or Rings of Power? That maybe was one of them.
It made it more enjoyable for me.
Okay, that's valid.
Okay,
because we got to make fun of it with funny people.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
mainly the warg being Ed from The Lion King. Yeah. Because there was a scene where he was just he had Google eyes and his tongue was hanging out of his mouth. He looked like Ed from The Lion King. What did you think of Rings of Power, Jen?
I thought that was incredibly well produced fan fiction.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that we discovered while doing the rewatch of it was if you look at the trivia of season 1, at least. I haven't even watched season 2.
Yeah, I didn't finish season 2.
But if you look at the trivia, like within the Amazon does that thing where they do Amazon X-ray and you can it shows you the actors and stuff. If you click on the trivia tab though, during season 1, I don't know if they changed it. It is basically a reference to where in the material that they were allowed to use to make the adaptation, they found it. So it'll be like on page 265 of the appendix, this is a reference to blah 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 blah, and it really feels like the showrunner of that show citing where they got it in the pieces of the property that they were allowed to use, so that the estate didn't sue them.
So they didn't get in trouble. Yeah,
that is what it felt like.
I mean, that's exactly what it probably was. To be fair, because there was an awful lot where it was like, no, this is in the appendix. You can't sue us. This was in the appendix.
Yeah, and it wasn't in his movie. It wasn't in Peter Jackson's movies, which they also weren't allowed to reference.
Yeah. But I mean, there's stuff about I too have not seen season 2. Possibly because I've heard people say it gets better. I think I would just be caught up on. I think Hot Sauron would be an insurmountable obstacle for me personally. I would just be unable to get past that point.
There's just some characters we're not supposed to have, sexualize, and one of them is Sauron. I
mean, I understand he's a very intriguing character, and certainly canonically, at the point in time in which they're depicting him, that's actually kind of canon.
Yeah.
He was
an elf.
He would have been kind of a hot elf wandering around.
Are there any not hot elves? Other than in Rings of Power with is it Elrond? That's like everyone says he's so plain looking for an elf.
Elrond. Yeah. Elrond really looks like he's I have no problem with the actor.
Yeah, not disparaging the actor, but he's not.
I don't want to disparage the actor at all, but he really does look like he is strongly related to Jay Leno. and again, I am not just encouraging his acting ability, which is great.
And he's a good-looking guy. It's that the other elven characters, they add to them to make them hotter, and they didn't do that for Elrond.
Yeah, and he's just all chin. So it's definitely like
you're into that though.
Like I said, I don't have a problem with the actor at all. I thought he did a lovely job. It just they definitely, like, a memo was sent around saying don't make the elves too pretty. I felt like So
Maybe.
You know, I mean, I don't know, what was it Jason Isaacs who played his father in I want to anyway, point is there's been some hot elves, but that weren't Legolas, but Lee Pace, that's right. It wasn't Jason Isaacs.
I would have been much more excited about that show if Jason Isaacs was in it.
But anyway, yeah. I just yeah. There were definitely some things, and some of it is just that I am a Tolkien nerd on a lot of the deep lore.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here the whole time going, I got to keep reminding myself that I can't get too particular about the details, and like sitting here going,
especially because
Galadriel, where's your husband? Where's your husband? Yeah. You should have a husband, a daughter, and a kingdom by now.
Also, the show should have taken place over the course of like 1,000 years, but like, they would have had to recast the human actors every episode. Yeah.
Elrond should be married to your daughter. Just saying. Stuff. Okay. Never mind.
When TV shows deviate from adaptation from a book, say, it doesn't bother me if the deviation, and like as an author, I feel like you could spot this better than I can. But like when it's something that just needs to be deviated from because it doesn't work on screen or whatever, works better on paper. But when you break your own rules within the show, like you set a precedent, make rules, and you break them, and like also at the same time, it's not connected to anything. Like just don't make it.
Yeah.
Just don't make it.
No, I mean, like, so the example I always love to use is The Expanse, right? With The Expanse, Christian Avasarala doesn't show up in the books until the second book. And they made the decision for the TV show to have her be there just literally right out of the gate. She's there immediately. And that was the right call. Yeah, that was the right call because she's amazing. That's an amazing character, and having her there from the beginning was absolutely the correct decision.
And to get an actor like Shohreh to do it.
Right, exactly. Right. So they made the decision, no, we're not going to try to put this off. We're just going to just have her, almost be there. I don't remember. Did the show actually start on her? It might have.
She was in a lot of the first episode.
No, second scene. I've just my
there you go.
Source of accuracy just reminded me. But it was really very, very beginning to the start of the show, and that was, again, she doesn't show up until the second book. But that was also an instance where you had the authors actually in the writers' room for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Which, it's not a thing we can do with Tolkien, obviously, but
and honestly, I don't know if I'd want his grandson or whoever it is who runs the estate sitting in the writer's room. I feel like because he's not a creative in any way, and like a lot of the decisions he's made in the past, I've found questionable.
I mean, it is definitely tricky, particularly amongst other things, because canon is something that that evolved even over the course of Tolkien's own life.
Oh yeah.
He changed his mind about things. He switched things up. He was like, the origin for orcs changed multiple times. Over
the ring in The Hobbit wasn't the ring.
Yeah.
In the original release of The Hobbit, which we talked about when we were talking about Bucky with Kyoko, when Bucky's because there's the scene in we were talking about Captain America with her for whatever reason, I don't remember, and there's the scene in Captain America or in The Winter Soldier when he's like, yeah, I read The Hobbit when it came out in 1921 or whenever he says that it came out, and he would have read a completely different Hobbit than anyone has ever read, because that version of The Hobbit was very short-lived, and Golem isn't as antagonistic, and the ring isn't the ring, it's just a magic ring.
It's just a ring. Yeah.
So it would be really interesting to hear Tolkien's thoughts on how things have evolved within the Lord of the Rings universe. That would be really interesting. On the theme though of remakes and adaptations with writers in the room, I forgot the name of the series. Aragon.
Yeah, Aragon.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the series but that is up for a new adaptation. And the rumor that I saw is that that Amazon is doing it again, which if is true, it better be fucking good. Because I feel like that they like canceled Wheel of Time, and like the next fantasy adaptation they're jumping into is Aragon. It better be fucking amazing. It better be so good. But on that note, the original writer will be is going to be in the writer's room for that. So that's interesting. There you go. The inheritance cycle. I forgot the name of the thing, but and obviously Aragon itself has a lot of haters and people that love it. Yeah, whether you love it or like it, a lot of people just are like, it's just Star Wars. A lot of things are just Star Wars, which is just the hero's journey. Like a lot of things are just that.
Which is just Dune, which is just the hero's journey, which is just
and so on. The Seven Samurai, the fucking the Epic of Gilgamesh, the first one.
Yeah, we writers. There's only so many stories out there.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna look for you'll find similarities in every story. Like that's just the way it goes. Yeah, I mean the Wheel of Time has almost every writer trope in it. But the thing that I liked Robert Jordan, what he did with some of them was he used some of the tropes to trick people, which I liked. But that's a thesis for a different time.
Yeah.
Talking about writers and books, though, we have a writer of many fantastic books here, and we have only barely touched on yours. Yeah. I loved Chorus of Dragons. I'm loving. I mean, I'll admit I did finish our book club book, and I
finished it early. Tom, how dare you?
I did finish it early, but we did say in the beginning. To be fair, we said in the beginning, people read at your own pace, and we'll make separate rooms for people to talk about things. So if you like, I broke them up into. Thankfully, you broke the book up into parts.
Well, and what I did was I read I don't. As I'm reading something and I'm consuming it for the first time, want to take notes. I just want to experience it. So I read it once and then I started going back to put my thoughts in my notes.
And we're talking about The Sky on Fire, by the way, just to get a little plug for that again.
I remember a reviewer basically said that that they thought it was very clever of me to have broken up into what effectively was like a season of episodes, right? The full season. I was like, oh yeah, I had no idea I was doing that, but you're right, that sounds really clever of me. So
you're like, thank you, I was so smart.
Yeah, way to go me.
It does feel like that, like a lot of the way the way it's indexed is it's in parts, and it does feel like it could be like a season and mid-season finale, and the way that is a really good interpretation of that. I like that. Maybe it was just your subconscious because these
things happen. Yeah, absolutely. There's a bit of stuff in Sky on Fire that only when I looked back on, I went, oh hey, I did that thing. Cool. And that that happens. When you're a writer, you put stuff down, and sometimes you put stuff down because you think it's neat, and then you look back in there and you go, oh, I was actually saying something. Okay, cool. Yeah. So
I love hearing creatives, but particularly authors and actors talk about stuff like that, like forgetting I'm going to say it and it sounds bad, but it's not. And don't worry, I'm going to defend you. Like forgetting things that like your own work. And it's because you don't consume, obviously, but this doesn't occur to a lot of the audience. You're not consuming it like we are, obviously. And when you're writing it, even if you find a scene cool or if you find something poignant, you're not going to find the same things poignant or cool or whatever that we do.
Right.
Is there anything that you could think of from any of your writings that like fans picked up on, but there wasn't really anything to pick up on. They kind of just inserted it, but it worked.
Almost.
Like it wasn't
Oh,
something wrong
yeah.
completely.
I mean, that happens a lot, and sometimes the things that that people latch onto are not the things you could have predicted. I mean, often they're not the things you could have predicted. I think one of the ones that I think about a lot, because it took me so by surprise, just blindsided me, was the way that a lot of the trans community latched onto Janelle from Chorus of Dragons as a trans character, which she's not, but because of what she goes through and because of the issues that she has with gender, she was speaking to a lot of the same experiences and pain that trans people can sometimes go through. But it wasn't intentional. It was just,
you were writing an organic human experience, but you weren't writing it from the point of view that the fans were taking it in.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, that happens. You very often, particularly in underrepresented groups, you're going to make your connections where you can, because there's so little of it out there.
Yeah. Which is why representation is important.
Yeah.
Why representation is important.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that though. That's great. And like, I feel like that's such a testament to the writing too, but the character development, that especially, a group that is a very particular type of experience, and being able to see that reflected in a character, even if it was happenstance, is a really poignant thing. And I think I mean, not a trans person myself, but I think I know what they're talking about with that character. It's been a little while since I read Chorus of Dragons. Like, wow.
Well, she is gender queer.
Yeah.
And given how her society treats gender, she does get misgendered when she deals with groups outside. So
yeah.
So that's, I think, a lot of it was what they were reacting to. But I mean, there's a lot of that sort of stuff that happens just in general, where you're like, oh, I didn't expect this character to resonate, or I didn't expect. There are actual trans characters in the book. Janelle isn't one, but for whatever reason, I think because those trans characters were not actually having to deal with the same struggles. Is
because like they're not going through the struggle of being trans. They just happen to be trans.
Well, they were actually living in a society that was very supportive.
Yeah.
Right. So they weren't having to deal with,
which is also important to see.
Yeah. So I think that's a lot of what the deal was there.
Yeah. Like I like seeing things like that be normalized, and like not. It's a really fine line to walk. I feel like, and I think, again, not as a trans person, I'd be interested. Lupine, I'm guessing you're saying that you are a trans person and you feel called out for this book and you want to read the book, which is great. You should totally read it. It's The Chorus of Dragons. Jen, it's Jen's book. And if you go to her website, which I will post again, you could find links to all over the place. Also Tor, which is, our sponsor.
Yes. And I will freely admit that I honestly haven't written a book that doesn't include trans characters. Part of that is just because
they're people and they exist.
Yeah, and it's a write what you know kind of thing. And I grew up around a lot of people, many of whom later realized that they were trans. So to me, it is a very normal thing, and I don't think of it as being weird or something that needs to be like it should just be there. So it is
because it's life.
Because it's life.
Okay, yeah, and yes, it is on Audible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Daiko from Discord. I do remember your name from Discord, but I didn't recognize your Twitch name. But it'll probably stick in there. I think it'll stick in there. Only because they're very unique names. I don't think I did Chorus of Dragons on audio at all. I've listened to I've listened to Sky on Fire on audio and read it, but I read Chorus of Dragons. How was what is your thoughts on the audiobook?
They fantastic. So
Yay.
so Course of Dragons is 5 books. Just to be clear to everybody,
Yes,
that's a series, and for the most part, there have been 3 narrators per book. Not necessarily the same people, but there tends to be, like the first book, The Ruin of Kings. There were 3 main POVs. Although I cheated because one of the POVs was a whole bunch of POVs.
Yeah,
they are.
In of herself, because she was the POV was of somebody who liked to murder people and steal their memories. So she had a lot of POVs, but so each one of those has a different voice actor, and they were amazing. They did amazing work.
One of the things that you did in this series, which I absolutely loved, and I did actually listen to some of it on audiobook because we talked about it elsewhere. I think maybe for JordanCon, when you were a guest at JordanCon.
Yeah, I think so.
You said, so there's like I forgot what you call it. You correct me. There's like the little asides that are throughout this.
Footnotes.
The footnotes.
So Course of Dragons is written,
they're hilarious.
It's written,
well, not all of them are comedy.
Not all of them.
Oh my
but yeah,
God, they're gold.
It's written diegetically, meaning that the books themselves exist within the world that exists.
Yeah, they're a storybook within the. Yeah.
One of the characters in the story is actually the person who pulls together the first book, and because he is a complete nerd. He's such a nerd. He has footnoted everything to, make comments so that the person that he's delivering this to can properly interpret everything, which means sometimes he's accidentally explaining stuff to the person who is actually in the scene,
the reader,
or the
characters in the scene.
He does some mansplaining a couple of times. And you can just imagine her being like, I was there. You're literally the person who said this thing. Okay. But for the audiobook, what we did was so the voice actor for that character was Theodore Chin, who I think he's done a ton of stuff, but he is the voice of Zenyatta from Overwatch.
Okay.
And so that's my 2 degrees of separation between me and Matt Mercer.
There you go. and Star Wars, because the guy that does Reinhardt in Overwatch is also the Eternal Emperor from Star Wars.
Right.
Okay.
So he'll just interrupt and narrator wise interrupt and give his comment from the footnotes, and then go back to the normal thing. So
when you told me that it was like a whole nother voice actor and stuff, I was like, oh, I got to go listen to some of those, because some of them, like you said, are poignant. Some of them give backstory. Some of them give description or detail, and then some of them are just his idiosyncrasies, like sneaking in, which are funny.
Or him just being like, everything this person has just told you is completely wrong.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that.
I think that's a direct quote from a part, or very close to a direct quote. Everything that they just said is completely false. Like, I feel like it's almost a direct quote from it.
And sometimes it's, I blame the educational system, and sometimes sometimes it is.
It's so
pretty
good.
sure this person is just lying to you. So
so good. It's so good. It's so funny.
I had a lot of fun writing those books. So
it shows, because they were fun to read, and like I'm fully on the bandwagon of, if you enjoy what you're doing, it'll come out in the product. It really doesn't matter what you're doing.
So Sky on Fire is not set on the same world as A Chorus of Dragons, and it is also a standalone, although it could have a sequel at some point.
I wouldn't say no.
I wouldn't say no. It just, not right now, but at some point in the future. And I like to describe that one as Dragon Riders of Pern meets Ocean's 11.
That is a great description of it.
Yeah.
Somebody gave that description to me. One of my beta readers described that to me, and I went, "Oh, yeah, okay. I'm describing that to everyone that way now on because that's completely accurate." It's a heist. It's a heist story.
Yeah.
With dragons.
If you enjoyed Ocean's 11 and you like fantasy, you will like the book. That's just it.
But it also has kind of like a lot of my idiosyncrasies, right, as a writer. So if you like, because A Course of Dragons is well over 1 million words. It's big chunky boys. Now, this is Dragonmount. I get like is Wheel of Time stands. So
We're like, oh,
that's not going to scare you guys off, but that would scare a lot of people off. So
when I introduced the book, like when we announced that we were going to be doing Sky on Fire as the, just to give you an idea of the people that you're talking to, because it works. You are right on the money.
It's true. Yeah.
I said she is very similar to Brandon Sanderson in the way of how they write short stories. Like, this is a short story for Jenn. Like, she's described this as something that could have been a novella, but this is a novella to Jenn Lyons. Like, this is a Jenn Lyons novella in the same way like Brandon Sanderson's novellas are fucking full length.
My husband has teased me on many occasions that I've never written a short story that wasn't the first chapter of a novel. So that does seem to be how it works for me. So
and that's not a dig in any way in the way I'm saying it, I promise.
So Green and Deadly Things is yet set again in yet another completely different, unique setting, new universe.
Gosh, I love this cover so much.
And this one is kind of me playing with magic systems.
Ooh.
So it's this idea of this world that is caught in this cycle between life and death, order and chaos, where you have these upswings where everything goes to, ultimate order, and then it comes down, and then it goes back up to ultimate chaos, and it's actually like a dysfunctional magical system. These maximum points, these maximum crests are actually mass extinction events. They're not sustainable. They're horrible.
Yeah.
And so the whole point about this is that humanity is this is hundreds of years after the last crest, and they've kind of, for reasons, they've forgotten what happened. They don't really understand what's going on, and they just know that the people that were in charge during this sort of dark age, they're both completely terrifying. The people that were in charge were these necromancers, right? That were called Grimlords, and they had to have this huge rebellion against these Grimlords, these necromancers, overthrow them, and they're recovering, and everything's great. And what they don't realize is that they are hurtling towards this next crest, that they're hurtling towards chaos. And as they're getting towards it, if they're starting to hurtle towards it, they're starting to see all of these wild things sort of happening. And what ends up happening is that that actually these beings that have actually survived several of these cycles get accidentally awoken again. These ancient, incredibly powerful tree queens get awoken accidentally, and
I like that.
And the hero of the story is this. He's a wannabe knight. He hasn't quite made it into the whole knight thing. He's part of a magical order, of basically what amounts to a magical order of librarians. Because preserving knowledge, it's very important.
Oh yeah.
And he ends up kind of having to awaken one of these necromancers to deal with.
Oh my god!
Thanks.
That's great.
Thanks,
Don't worry, I've handled all of those puns for you. It's good.
Nice. See, I knew
I
could
got
do
you
that.
covered.
The but also you have in the pipeline of things coming out, the full negative novel that you did the Kickstarter for.
Yes, I did crowdfund with BackerKit the
Or BackerKit.
sci-fi novel Full Negative. We've hit a little bit of a snag on that.
Ooh, okay.
I hate two pieces, but it's basically the problem that we've run into is the costs have fluctuated since when we originally did the pricing, and we're working on it.
I'm sure. Yeah, any kind of even semi-mass. It's not like mass production, like 10 billion books, but it's still mass production, hundreds or thousands or whatever it is. Is going to be annoyed right now. It doesn't matter where it's taking place because of, we have a great financial system and
everybody's been super supportive and understanding, but
that's great.
But yeah, it is, it will happen. It's just,
so just keep an eye on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the Green and Deadly Things is on normal course for release date in March. Okay. Right. So we will definitely
pre-order now.
Yes, make sure to, if you can, go pre-order if any of the things that Jenn has said tonight has seemed interesting and you would like to continue to see inside of her brain, go and read some more of those books. I brought up Full Negative specifically because it's so different from the other books that we've talked about of yours tonight, and I just really find that really interesting as a point to like I said, like go inside your brain, because like not only reading like Chorus of Dragons or Sky on Fire and then hopefully Green and Deadly Things soon is going to be like, we're only seeing it from an author that sees everything in a fantasy eye. You also are very strongly into science fiction and horror. I know that about you as well. So I always hesitate to tell people, oh, it's just this, like it's fantasy, or it's not like it's not.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Green and Deadly is probably the goriest thing I've ever written.
I could definitely see horror elements being in there.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Just on your description. And
no, there's some, it very much it gets a little bloody, but it was still, again, it was fun to write.
I like seeing how wide your brain swings on the different topics. Like you got, I know you're super into Vampire the Masquerade back in the day, and like still liking
yes,
it.
I was.
Star Wars, and I mean, we could talk, like Jenn and I could probably spend 2 hours just talking about Star Wars.
We have.
Yes. I mean, on a panel setting. I mean, we just did that for funsies, though.
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely. We absolutely have. So, no. I'm a nerd, and I am very much into science fiction as well as fantasy. So,
I think it influences your writing in just really interesting ways that you're not like tied to the like tied to one thing in your own mind. Like, you have such an expansive interest in all different things.
Well, somebody did ask me at one point, like how my world building differs between my science fiction work and my fantasy work. And I truthfully said it doesn't. It doesn't. Cause I'm going through the same, okay, well, how big's the star in the system, and what are the planets like, and how big's the world, and what's the composition, and what's the, like, it's a very science-based foundation. And then you tweak the magic system if there's a magic system for fantasy.
Yeah.
And, otherwise,
tech
no.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And, it's not really, to my mind, it's not really very different. Even with science fiction, you're typically figuring out the ways that physics doesn't work the way physics works,
or breaking it in whatever way you see, interestingly, to make,
how do you go faster than the speed of light?
Yeah. The magical tech or actual magic, function. Yeah. I like that. Shit. Nope. It was there. No, it's gone. Nope, it's gone. It's gone. It was a poignant thing. It was in there, and now it's gone. Oh no, Nope, that wasn't it. It was the thing that talking about it in that way though, where you were just talking about the scientific approach to it. Oh, I remember what it was now. It was you went out of focus for a second.
Yeah.
No. Try to do your whole
Put the palm
Yeah,
of your hand up.
But keep going so you don't forget it.
Yeah. The there you go. Now we can see your face. Yeah. It made me think of your Google history is probably interesting. Like your Google search history, like thinking about it from the aspect of writing science fiction and writing in-depth fantasy. And the way I know you research things. Yeah. I'm just sure that your Google search history is extra spicy.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely FBI watch list, material.
I would love to see that file. It'd probably be really interesting.
I have absolutely searched for some things that somebody's like, oh God, it's a writer.
I feel okay. Is this a terrible idea or a terribly good idea? Ask writers to pull up like their Google search history for like the last book they wrote or something like that. Or would that be a terrible idea?
I mean,
as a writer.
Yeah, VPNs exist for a reason. I definitely think that I think the one that amused me the most was I did a lot of research that didn't really pan out on I'm forgetting the word for it.
Sorry.
Chiral molecules. On chiral molecules. Okay, so
I totally know
molecules have a handedness.
Oh yes, I do know that.
They face a certain way, and if you flip them, they don't work.
Yes.
Right? Like
left-handed and right-handed molecule. I've seen Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about that.
Right, exactly. And so I was doing research on what chirality, what it would mean to come up across things that had a different chirality. Of course, the problem is that I didn't think at the time, and certainly I wasn't finding anything on a regular Google search that indicated that a lot of research was being done on this. And I had to laugh because I think like last week, just on chance, like there was a Veritasium video posted up on YouTube that was on exactly this, except of course the result of it was, oh my God, don't do this or we're all going to die. No, it wasn't Veritasium. It was Kyle Hill. Yeah, don't do this or we're all going to die.
Physics experiments we should never do at CERN.
Yeah, things we should never ever do. And I'm like, well, too late. I've already written about it.
I wrote about it. That means if we go by how the fiction has influenced, like science fiction has influenced technology development in the future, like maybe in 40 years there'll be
the problem, of course, and they make a very good point about this. There are people that are trying for this right now in a very scientifically minded sort of because we can kind of way.
Figures Nomengarden knew.
But the issue is that if you were to say have bacteria that would develop using opposing chirality, there would be nothing that could stop them.
No antibacterial. Yeah. Okay.
And it's not even just necessarily that they would, infect us, because they would probably not even notice us. Like it's not a thing but it's just a resource consumption issue. Yeah. They would literally just eat everything up and nothing could stop them.
Yeah.
So
that's only semi-terrifying. So like,
don't do that. Don't,
hopefully like there is like string theory is wrong and there is no other other dimensions or universes that one of them happens to have, like everything that we have is right chirality here is actually left chirality there.
The math does work. So.
I know it does. I'm hoping it's wrong. Like that's the terrifying thing. Like we open up a portal to another dimension thinking like, and then, the common cold crosses over.
The terrifying thing is that there's a scientific fields that are reasonably new, where they're trying to bioengineer stuff like this.
Oh, stuff like that. Yeah.
Where
of
it's
course.
not, you
That
don't
would
need
be
another
terrifying.
dimension.
Yeah.
You don't need another dimension.
You don't even need it to be that science fiction-y.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, they've been CRISPRizing and all kinds of stuff I mean, like, they successfully cloned things in the 90s.
Yeah.
And everyone forgets that. Like, they successfully cloned sheep and other animals in the 90s.
I don't forget that. I remember when Dolly was cloned.
Dolly.
Dolly.
Yeah.
And like, they've had that technology for like 30 years and you kind of don't hear about it anymore, but that doesn't mean they don't use it. And now we're seeing it come out in the designer dogs and cats. Rich people are cloning their pets because, you know, that when they die. And I'm not, you know what? I've heard people hate on them. I am not going to hate on them, because if someone came to me and I had $50,000 to drop, like, it wouldn't matter, and was like, we'll clone your animal, and like, it won't be the same thing, but it'll be just taken from that. I'd be like, do it right now. Like 1,000%. If I had the money, I would 1,000% do it. So I'm not going to hate on rich people for doing that. I know it's incredibly capitalism, like mega capitalism. It's ultimate. It's capitalism, the pinnacle of it. But still, I understand that wanting to do that, and I don't want to hate on them. But yeah, no, that's terrifying. That is definitely terrifying. Speaking of terrifying things, Green and Deadly Things is your goriest book, you said. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yep.
Make sure to everybody go and pre-order if you can. If you can't, if you know people that are interested in, like, you know, fantasy, nature-driven type things, cataclysmic, like Jen was saying, share that book with them and maybe they can pick it up, so that, you know, if you can't pick it up yourself or don't want to, if it's not your cup of tea.
There is a really beautiful special edition that is going to be coming out in England.
Always. They're always the nice ones over there. There were like a lot of the Wheel of Time special edition ones over there were really nice. What is your my pins just slammed together in their magnet.
They are, I mean, it's custom end papers, custom illustrated end papers. It's illustrated sprayed edges.
Oh, those are the things that really get
like
me.
they're going completely.
I'm excited.
Yeah. They sent me the illustrations and I was like, okay, yeah.
Those are so
great.
Fun to sell, to like watch. I own a bookstore, and just to watch people like pick them up, and it's amazing.
Like,
yeah. So no, I'm really excited because it looks really.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be getting one of those for sure.
This is the largest order. Usually these sorts of things, when I get it, it's like 1,000 books or something like that. You know, sometimes it's 500, and you know, you get asked to sign 1,000 tip-ins because you know they want to have spares. This time it's 10,000.
Oof! And wait, you have to sign 10,000?
More than 10,000.
Oh,
10,000 is how much they're printing.
So how long does something like that take you? Like how long? Like how, are you figuring, like, or do you have no idea? Like it's like
no, it's taken me a while.
Oh, you started already?
Oh yeah. I started
so
a couple weeks ago.
Oh man, that's what I was gonna say. Like that, like it sounds like a lot, but then at the same time you're like, oh, it's signatures. Like how long can that? But no, man,
it's
like that's a long time. Yeah.
No, it's just a lot. But
so many.
But I can't really complain because Jen needs yes, I need a clone. I can't complain, right? Like that's
amazing.
Violin. Right, exactly. I mean, they bought 10,000
that's awesome. That's all. Right, it's an awesome
amazing
problem to have.
It's like
exactly. I'm just thinking of the logistics behind it, not even the actual process of you signing it. Like
8 really large boxes.
That's I was like, man, that's got to be just heavy too, because it's just solid paper. And paper is not light.
Books are not light. No.
I have had to go get an extra bottle of ink because I've already run through one.
That's
so.
That's insane, and also awesome that that's doing that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Brandon is, but again, Brandon has a signature that he doesn't have to move his wrist for, and it's not a name. I've seen him sign his name, and I've seen Jen sign her name. Like Brandon can bang out a signature a second, where that's not Jen. That's not Jen's process.
No. Me, it's more like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I commend take all the fish oil and eat lots of invest maybe in a heating pad or something. I don't know, like to make sure to take care of yourself is what I'm saying.
Yes, no, absolutely.
Go easy on my friend's arm, okay? That's
you can hurt yourself. I don't want to do that. So.
It's a silly, like it sounds silly, but no, you absolutely can.
No, this is why when everybody like gets really upset, like somebody's using an electronics signer, I'm like, don't maybe. I mean, I get that you are paying extra money for a signed book, and I get that level of, but I also get that if it's somebody who's, 50,000 or something like that, like you can get.
The only thing I could think about, I'm sorry, like when Lupine there said Jen needs a clone. All I have in my head now is
multiplicity, please.
Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. That's all I have in my head.
That is what popped into my head too. I was like, man, just don't make a clone of the clone.
Don't do a clone of the clone or a clone of the clone of the clone.
No Xeroxes of don't copy.
Hi, Steve. Oh, God, that movie is so funny.
I saw that movie way too young and quoted it way too often.
Yeah, that movie is forever ingrained. A lot of my older Michael Keaton movies too. Like I forgot the name of it, but he did one where he was like, it's got to be like the early 80s or the 70s. He was running a car manufacturing plant, and like the Japanese bought it, and like he is working on marrying the Japanese workers with the American workers, and it's a fun movie. I really enjoyed that movie. It wasn't like a hard comedy or anything. It was just funny. That and Mr. Mom are two of my favorites. Anyway, before we go off on a huge tangent on that, so Jen has done our Inside the Dragon Mount interview already. But one of the things, Jen, which I forgot to tell you, but isn't a big deal, that we've been doing with people that have done it but did it for a different show. We re-ask the two questions that are show specific.
Well, and I think the questions, those two we had a different question back then anyway.
Yeah, it was like, who do you want to marry or whatever. And we thought that was silly. So what we changed them to for the show specific ones is each show now, when we get to these questions, it's what Agatha all along character would you want as a roommate, or do you think would make the best roommate?
Man, I mean, hi, baby. Is this Khajiit?
That was surprising.
Hi,
That was adorable.
Does Khajiit have wares?
Khajiit always has wares.
Yay.
And Khajiit wants to be cuddled, so she's gonna.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I will not object.
Okay, so I mean that's a tough one because like I think Lilia would be a great roommate. But Jen comes with beauty products. Like she could always be hooking you up with beauty products. Mm-hmm. So, that would be pretty cool too. I would not want Agatha.
Would smell great.
Would not want Agatha. I would definitely not want Billy. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe if I was also a 20-year-old, like.
Yeah. But like Billy, it's the whole family thing. It's just too unpredictable.
That is entirely fair.
I'm gonna go with Lilia.
Yeah, you would not want Scarlet Witch showing up one day, or even Vision in his current state. None of that would end well.
Hold on.
And then off she
ripped my earphones out.
You are done.
She was like, I got all the cuddles I wanted. I wanted exactly 47 seconds of cuddles.
She probably actually was annoyed that I wasn't like giving her my full attention. So,
How dare you?
All right. Is it just one question or?
And then what other than the obvious here, which is I feel like the Salem 7, who would make the worst roommate?
You're right. Salem 7 is the obvious one there. But gonna have to go with Agatha.
Yeah.
It is an easy. I mean, like, you're right. You're 100% right. Like, she would definitely be the worst, especially if it's not. I mean, really, honestly, any form of Agatha in the show would just be not fun for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah. Agatha Harkness from Marvel Comics. That's a different issue. I would take her. She would be my number one in a heartbeat because she's
That's fair.
awesome. And like, who doesn't want an awesome, cool, magical grandmother, right?
Yeah.
But that's not this Agatha.
No.
For people who are not Marvel readers, most of the time, through most of Marvel, Agatha was 100% a good guy.
Oh yeah.
100%. Like this, she used to like. She was like Franklin Richards' babysitter, like 100%.
At most, it was like a light anti-hero, but it was never really a villain.
Mm-hmm.
At most, it was mostly like the wise old magical advisor type, right? Yeah.
That's like I, as somebody who has not read a lot of the Marvel comics and does not know a lot about Agatha, but that is what I've seen in everything that I've looked at on her, and I like hearing that confirmed by someone who has read a lot of the stuff. She would, for no other reason though. Agatha, at least TV show Agatha early on, she might kill you.
Yeah.
Even afterwards, she's going to be in some shit. Like, even if she's not, like, even good Agatha toward the end there isn't good. She's just not killing innocent people.
Right.
And then her as a ghost would just be ultimately frustrating.
Still a gremlin.
Yeah.
It's part of her intrinsic nature to be a gremlin. No.
The only thing that I feel like would be really interesting to have her as a roommate though would be the stories that she would have, because we learn in the thing that she's been around for a while. Like obviously we know she's in Salem, but like she's been in a lot of shit. It's so when he looks her up throughout history, survivor of the Titanic, like she's got to have some interesting stories, and she's in a lot of places throughout history. We know she was with Jenn when she was like 100 years prior in Massachusetts or whatever it was, but she's all over the place, so she would have interesting stories. But oh
my gosh, in spirit form she would never shut up. She would be so restless because she would be so bored. Absolutely.
She would be bored and angry that she was a spirit and not corporeal. Yeah, it was
relentless. She would be absolutely relentless.
I wholeheartedly agree with Agatha, not TV Agatha all along, not being the roommate that I would want. For sure.
No, comic book Agatha for the most part, like she's the person that trains heroes, right? Which I mean is interesting because usually the archetype that is more of like a male character usually, so it is fun to see that role being filled by a woman. But like in the comics, for a number of different runs, like she did train Scarlet Witch, but not in a like horrible way, like in a purely positive way. So
not like a lot of the training is depicted in a lot of the other stuff. Yeah. Okay, so it's interesting to see the different authors' takes on it, in the comic series, but at the same time, that's what made it hard for me personally to follow. Like, I never knew where to start was my problem with it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
But I like going back and hearing from people that have read the things, like the different iterations of it have been really interesting. And the fact that Kevin Feige now has said anything that's ever been made with a Marvel character in it is canon because of the multiverse, right? Which is a cop-out thing to do, but also at the same time a way to be like, you never know what's going to come.
I mean, I don't know, he's not the first person who's tried that.
No,
in video games, for example, Bethesda with their Elder Scrolls series is really kind of famous for saying that not only is everything that they've ever done canon because of the multiverses, but every playthrough that a player has ever done is canon because of the multiverses. That
if I had to pick one though, I would want Skyrim Grandma, her playthroughs to be I don't know if you've seen her.
I've seen Skyrim. She is.
She recently retired, by the way, which is
I didn't realize that. Well, it's been a while since I've checked in, so
it popped up in my Google feed or TikTok or something.
But it's like we've had this conversation about Star Wars, right? Because nothing in Star Wars is consistent. Like you can't go through Star Wars and get anything to make sense because it doesn't. I remember somebody was commenting that there was one particular event that they were trying to find out when it happened in the Star Wars timeline, and they realized that it was like a decade during which it could have happened. And, depending on what source you were pulling from, because there actually is at least 10-year discrepancy between the legacy accounts of like when the Clone Wars happened versus the modern accounts of when the Clone Wars happened. There's this huge thing, but then it doesn't matter because it's all folklore. And if you treat it like folklore, then you sleep better at night. Like you can cope with the fact that
it won't eat at your brain.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Asajj Ventress alive? Is she dead? Did she, sacrifice her life so that Quinlan Vos can,
we'll find out.
Matter. Doesn't matter.
It's one of my, that's a thing that I like that Star Wars does. And the other thing, and I reference it all the time, is a comment that George Lucas made way back in like the 80s when someone like a interviewer asked him about how Lando says Han instead of Han, and like why didn't they correct that, or is that right, which one's right? And he's like, they're both right, and I didn't correct it because it's a big galaxy and people have accents, so there is no correct or incorrect pronunciation. And I use that in just everything now. So like I never correct people's pronunciations of anything anymore. And that's in the sense of fantasy and science fiction, not day-to-day life, because I don't correct anybody in day-to-day speech because I'm the worst. I would never. I am no Nazi, including grammar. I'm not a grammar one either.
Grammar is one of those situations where a lot of people think they're right. And in point of fact, grammar seldom is consistent or agrees with each other. And it's which style book are you using? Because
or when are you looking at
it? And when these things are not the same. There was a period of time where ampersand did not exist as a
words
word
meant
or a
completely
meaning.
different things.
The meaning of gay has changed substantially and often radically over the course of just the past couple hundred years.
Yeah.
So
and that's not even getting into other languages and translations, and just talking about English pronunciation over the last 200 years. One that came to me recently because I was making fun of myself, and someone was like, "No, actually, you're right." I'm like, "What? No one's ever said that to me before." I'm going to say it right now, and I still don't hear it. I just want everyone to know that. Anytime I say this word, I don't hear it the way other people say that I'm saying it, so I don't know if I'm saying it the way they say I'm saying it or not. But I say ask, and which is a different way, is not how it's incorrect. I don't know. Ask, like they say I'm saying ask. I don't know. I don't know how I say it. I say ask a lot. And they were like, oh no, actually the original word, that the Old English word where that comes from, started with ask, which is why it got shortened to ask. And the way it was pronounced is the way you pronounce it with your New York accent. Like the way that a lot of people pronounce it as axe is closer to the original pronunciation than ask is. Right. So I was like, yes.
Well, I mean, and again, these things don't really, there's variations and these things evolve. It's the whole thing about, you're good there. And I haven't done research into this, so I can only say I have heard people say this, which is that the Appalachian accent, the most common Appalachian accent, is closer to what Elizabethan English sounded like than anything currently said.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah. I love that.
Because the accent actually hasn't modified as much here in that area of the United States as the accents have changed in England, which they've changed a lot.
Oh yeah, they changed a lot.
But just think about Hamlet said with that accent.
That's yeah.
fucking phenomenal. Like just or like royal fucking meetings and things like the Queen making a proclamation or some shit would be. That's fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
The linguistics and the evolution of linguistics have always interested me in the same way that like folklore and the evolution of folklore, which is usually tied together,
right,
has interested me.
Well,
So
I mean, as a
really
fantasy author who writes second world fantasy, this is a conversation that I and many other authors like myself have a lot, because we get told a lot that that we shouldn't use certain words because they're anachronistic, and that's always an interesting conversation, because I'm just like, well, nobody in my world is speaking English, so everything that is in one of my books is a translation into English from another language. So if somebody wants to translate a word and they want to translate it into a word that is, by our vernacular, more common, or something that is petrichor, it's a word that was invented in the 20th century, or teenager is relatively recent. Okay, yeah. I have definitely had people, try to give me grief over word choice, and the thing that will always continue to crack me up about that is that I've never had anyone complain about the same word. Everyone who takes that time to say you use these words and these words were anachronistic and shouldn't have been used.
Yeah.
They're never complaining about the same words. It's always whatever it was that bothered them in particular.
Yeah.
And then they won't complain about words that, I mean, I know, like I quite a bit in A Chorus of Dragons, I use the word sadism, and that's not a very word recent word. Yeah, that is absolutely a word that we can thank the Marquis de Sade for.
Yes.
And if
Marquis de Sade didn't exist, then why do we have that word? Yeah.
Right. You wouldn't have that word. And same with masochism, same with, with the entirety of the English language.
Yes. And I feel like it's telling for how a fan or just anybody approaches that, because like my thought on stumbling over words like that in like a series would be, why are you using it? Not it is wrong.
You're
here.
doing it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like maybe it might be reading into it too much in some cases, where it's like, like you said, you're using the word in the sense of it being like a translation from another language, which is an easy way to like shut up people. Like, I'm not saying that's why you did it, but it is.
Yeah. But I mean, there's cases where too, like the I'm making choices for vocabulary because in some of the worlds, in some of the books, they're maybe not as dark age or early medieval as you might think they are, right? They're actually further up on the tech tree than that.
It's in the future, and it's like post-apocalyptic maybe, like, and that's why the word is here or something like that.
Right.
Like I just to only because we do it all the time and it's Dragon Mount, to throw back to Wheel of Time. I always describe Wheel of Time to new readers as a futuristic post-apocalyptic fantasy world.
Have I not told you about my thing about that, Tom?
I don't think so. I don't know. Funnily enough, I think Wheel of Time is one of the least things you and I have discussed.
All fantasy is post-apocalyptic.
I like that. I'm fine with that.
All fantasy is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, why not?
And
even if it's not meant to be.
And people will say, try to give me examples, and I'll be like, nope, because I can point you to even stuff that is like, oh well, this is an AU history of Earth, and I'll be like, well, so world wars didn't happen, genocides didn't happen, the invasion of the sea peoples didn't happen and the collapse of the Bronze Age. It's the Dark Ages it's post-apocalyptic. All of it, Tolkien, post-apocalyptic.
Oh yeah, well his is...
I mean, obviously, Wheel of Time, very, very clear example of post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Both in-world and reference to.
My books, post-apocalyptic.
Very clearly, the thing that I always tell, especially Wheel of Time fans about Chorus of Dragons is it's one that actually has dragons in it. There's dragons in it because there's none in Wheel of Time, which is the thing that I love hearing from people. Like, when is there going to be a dragon? Like showing, like there aren't.
Not like that.
There's none, but there's lots of dragons in Jenn's books.
There's
specifically 8. A Chorus of there's 8, but they're not.
They're big.
They're very big.
They're very big.
And their personalities are also very big.
I wanted to take dragons and I wanted to treat them like elemental forces, and maybe a little bit like kaiju. So
yeah, I definitely get the kaiju. Yeah, for obvious reasons. So one of the things that we've been ending with is a game where we do like this or that and stuff like that. But we've had everyone here for such a long time. We're going on 2.5 hours now. Which,
sorry guys.
I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. But when we get talking on random topics, this is what happens. But I don't want to keep everyone up too late. It is Monday, and everyone has work tomorrow. So I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the stream and watching. But I do have one question I want to ask for you.
Okay.
Between two things, and it has to do with the discourse that is in fantasy. Kind of, it's always been there, but it's gotten ramped up ever since George Martin weighed in on it. Specifically with dragons.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead, because I know I know you know what I'm going to say. So
I in the acknowledgments of The Sky on Fire, I specifically call out George R.R. Martin and thank him, because a healthy chunk of a score of The Sky on Fire owes how it exists to his statement that he made about that the idea that dragons would be hexapodal, have 6 limbs, is unrealistic. And I took great objection to that. And in much the same way, like, you can make arguments, right? And I've said this before. Tolkien, a healthy chunk of, not everything, but definitely a healthy chunk of Lord of the Rings is Tolkien having a conversation with Shakespeare, and addressing some of his pet peeves about Macbeth. I mean, seriously, right? Like, no woman born of man will, like, that whole thing. The woods are marching to. Yeah, he was having a conversation with Shakespeare, and Martin was having a conversation with Tolkien, with a lot of, A Song of Ice and Fire is him having a little chat with Tolkien. I will freely admit that a lot of A Chorus of Dragons is me having a conversation with Robert Jordan. There's some healthy influence there where I'm, having this sort of discourse. But Sky on Fire, a little bit of a chunk of that is me poking back against George R.R. Martin.
For his dragon philosophy.
Yeah, specifically on this world that they're on, humans aren't native to it. They've come in later. Almost everybody on all the native life on this world is almost all hexapodal.
6-legged.
6-legged.
Yeah.
Or
more.
4 legs and wings.
Yeah.
Or in one case, variations. There's one animal running around that's all wings, 6 wings, but mostly hexapodal. And my official opinion on this is, as a writer, you get to decide what's a dragon in your book.
Thank you.
Yes.
I knew that you were I knew that was your take on it.
George R.R. Martin says that the dragons in his books have 4 limbs. You go, dude. They have 4 limbs. I I do not get to tell you that those are not dragons. In my world, those would be wyverns. Not my world.
Oh, he would be so sad. He would get so angry. And I love it.
He gets to say that those are dragons, and I just have to go, yeah, okay, those are dragons.
For you, yes, they are. I love that that's the way you put it too, because like I hate when people take ownership of something that they very much so don't own. Like, you didn't create dragons. No. They've been around for a very long time.
All I get to control is what's in my books.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't get
tell
to
other
control
people what their stuff is, what their creations are, and other people won't tell you what your creations are.
Exactly.
I love that. There. Thank you for humoring me on that. Remind everybody, like, go and check out, I'm going to post again in chat, Jenn's website. Go and do all of the things to the social medias, click all the buttons, follow all of the things. You also have a YouTube account that you've posted several videos on for Lord of the Rings. You started some things that
I did, and I haven't finished them.
I know you're a very busy person, but if people want to listen to Jenn wax poetically on Lord of the Rings, there is a YouTube account also attached on the website there to check out some fun stuff.
I do.
Hold on, friends. You still have to announce next week, Tom.
Oh,
it's true. Yeah. Go ahead, Jenn.
Yeah. No, all I was going to say was that I at some point need to go on about, like, I literally just did Fellowship of the Ring. I didn't do
Two Towers and Hobbit.
Yeah. So, but that's enough of me. Let's go on to the announcements and stuff.
Go and do all the follows. And like I said, if it's not your cup of tea, or you don't have the money to pick up books now or pre-order them, share them with people that you think might enjoy them, and help out that way. If you also want to help out an awesome writer and pretty awesome person. But as Crystal reminded me, because she is incredibly helpful and reminds me to do the things that I often forget. We do have to announce who is going to be our guest next week.
For the final episode, you guys.
I know. This was our penultimate episode. I think it was a pretty good penultimate episode. Yeah. I think they did good setting up, like, the battle that is to come and the story that they're going to do. Next week, I another friend to continue the theme that we've had a lot through Agatha all along. Another person that I met at Multiverse Con, a fellow streamer as well. His information I will share, because I was trying to click through to my email and I couldn't find it. I have too many emails. But his name is D. Beasley. He streams video games and live reacts to TV shows and talks about movies and stuff. Oh, I didn't add the fucking name of the episode in because I'm a silly pants. But he will be joining us next week. I'll get his information will be shared tonight when we make our post and have the next episode listed. I'm excited to chat with him. I was sat on a panel with him, and I was like, oh, I got to have you on the show. Like, just listening to him talk about the horror movies specifically, because, again, I was on like 12 horror panels that fucking convention. Not complaining. It was just, I would never peg me as like, oh, let's put him on all the horror stuff. But they did, and it was fun. I had a good time. And I liked his brain, and I was like, I want to have you on the show and talk to you on the show. So I'm excited to chat with him. We'll have all his stuff in the description of the stuff when we get that out. And reminder, go and vote. What movie should we watch? And show up next week to
Vampires versus the Bronx. No pressure.
It is a fun movie.
No pressure.
And I fully suggest, if you haven't seen any of these movies, 100%, just watch all of them. They're all of them for fantastic movies in their own way. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. We got everything out of the way. All right, good. I love all of you awesome nerds. I love all of you awesome nerds. We'll see you next week. Say goodnight, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.